Okay, welcome back, everybody. Mm, we're going to be on chapter 5 today and maybe get to 6. Both the chapters are kind of small, but they're packed, which are pretty awesome. I also want to say that I have had a Patreon account for a long time, but I am going to be switching over there. It's when I get it all set up, I'll let you know, but it's still under Prophecy End of Days. I'll get the link. And unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know if I have to like charge people or whatever to be on there, but it'll be like the lowest amount possible. Like if it's like $1 or whatever, but at least, these trolls, this shadow banning, all this stuff is just, I am sick of it. I don't know if you guys are getting sick of it, but YouTube, in my mind, I don't even want to support it at all with my videos, at least. Let's see who's all here. Hey, Daniel, you got in today. That's great. Anyway, if you guys can thumbs up, I'll wait a little bit. I don't know. There is a new system coming in, a weather system. Over here, it's basically going to be snow and rain. I'm like in this pocketed area, so I'll probably just get rain. But that front, that cold front is coming back down again, and then you're getting sideswiped. So people are talking about tornadoes because the warm front, that spring push is coming up too. So, it's just gonna be really crazy. I mean, this spring, I would just be ready. I mean, I think Texas and this last whole situation kind of taught people, you got to be ready for anything. And, I know like for people that I know in Texas that are like always bragging how nice it is, I'm like, they're like going, oh gosh, now we're gonna go get generators and food and make sure this never happens again. So it's gonna get crazy, I say. I'm gonna get ready here. Okay. We got what? It's hard to see from way back there. That was nice having it so close, but the reason I had it so close was because the microphone, but now the microphone situation is good. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and get started on this. Hey, Eagle! We got Eagle and Daniel. 5 people, no one is talking. I know. You should stop by and say hi. People are in. Say hi. Yeah, we get a few people in here that like to chat and stuff, and I think, with everything going on, I think these types of groups are really good to just kind of de-stress and just to know that, hey, you know what, you're gonna be okay. It's just a lot of stuff going on, and you know, it, there's just, I mean, things around us are changing very quickly. And what I had seen, basically, it's more political than it is weather-wise, but also you're going to have both of them going on at the same time. So I don't know. As long as I keep the electricity, I'm good. I hate it when my electricity goes out. It just, I mean, it's like you really feel the impact. It's like, no, not the electricity. I don't have a generator, but I am going to be getting one now. The only thing is with the generators is it's gas, and gas doesn't really keep very long, so, you know. You know. Let's see. Hey, Mind, Eagle, Daniel. So I'm going to go ahead and start then. It is Exodus chapter 5, verse 1. And afterward, Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh. So this is in chapter 4. Everybody's getting set up now. Like, the elders were being like shown, like, hey, we've got Moses here, probably showed him, what the rod would do and things like that. And so they're all on board. They're like, okay, so we're going to be getting out of captivity now. So they're like, okay, they're good. So now they're going up to Pharaoh. And this is what chapter 5 is about. So afterward, Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, God of Israel, and that is Yahweh Elohim of Israel. Let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And this is, Moses is talking for God. So Moses is his oracle, basically. And Pharaoh said, who is Yahweh, that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? Notice the eyes. I know not Yahweh, neither will I let Israel go. Can go back to Daniel. Remember what happened to Nebuchadnezzar when he walked into his palace and I built all this. And the moment that he said that, he was like acting like an animal for 7 years. So it's this kind of pride and this sort of thing that really sets off Yahweh. Okay, verse 3. And they said, the Elohim of the Hebrews hath met with us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto Yahweh our Elohim, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. So when you go into Deuteronomy, you can see all the curses and things like that. If you do all these things, then you'll be blessed. But if you don't, then you're going to get the curses. All right, verse 4. And the king of Egypt said unto them, wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their works get you unto your burdens? Like, forget that. No, I do what I want. And Pharaoh said, behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burdens? The whole thing about this oppression thing is that when Joseph died, the people, they were blessed, and the land, the people grew, and then it was like a new government came in, and they're like, oh, you know, they could come against us. Thing that I don't understand is they could have overpowered. But like with us, even in our situation now, the people could overpower the government. Not saying that that's what's going to happen, but as soon as the government fears the people, that's when there's a lot of change and oppression and things like that. So it's like we're coming to a point in our own history where, things are going to hit, and God, He hears us. It's like, Yeah, justice is coming out of it, but it is to wake up the people too. All right, verse 6. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, and the officers are basically the scribes that kept the count on how, many things were made and things like that. Okay, verse 7. Ye shall no more give the people chaff to make brick, as heretofore let them go and gather straw for themselves. So this oppression, this burden is really starting to hit them. With us, this inflation is going to hit. I mean, you can work all day and maybe buy half of what you were able to. So, you know, history repeats itself. But then again, I told you there's justice coming. And the tale of the bricks which they did, which is the tally of it, which they did make heretofore, ye shall lay upon them, ye shall not be diminish aught thereof, for they be idle. Like, therefore the cry saying, let us go and sacrifice to our Elohim. So Moses is kind of, they're looking at him now like, now we're going to punish the people because you said that. Let their work, okay, let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. So, as far as that goes, this is Yahweh saying it. And it really isn't vain works. It's like he's stepping in to show the nations, look, I am the one and only living God. And when I work, you're going to see just how much I have under control. And it's for them also to move into Israel. All right, 10. And the taskmasters of the people went out, and their officers, and they spake to the people, saying, thus saith Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. 11. Go ye get your straw where ye can find it, yet not aught of your work shall be diminished. So the doubling the task, and you got to do the same. And when God sees that his people are really under oppression, that's when he acts. So here we go. So the people were scattered. They've got them working so much that they aren't able to talk. I mean, if they were able to talk, they would be able to kind of organize. Well, look what's happening to us. Same thing. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Egypt to gather. This is gaish, but it's reeds instead of straw. So they had to find a replacement of that. And the taskmasters hasted them, saying, fulfill your works, your daily task, as when there was straw. And the officers of the sons of Israel, which Pharaoh's taskmasters had set over them, were beaten and demanded, wherefore have ye not fulfilled your task in making brick, both yesterday and today, as heretofore? Then the officers of the sons of Israel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, wherefore dealest thou thus with thy servants? I mean, why are you being so, when they do the oppression like that, that's when they're scared the most. I mean, look at ours. Look what's going on. You have fences going up all around the capital area and that things. They're afraid. Okay, 16. There is no straw given unto thy servants, and they say to us, make brick, and behold, thy servants are beaten, but the fault is in thine own people. But he said, ye are idle, ye are idle. That's for emphasis. Therefore ye say, let us go and do sacrifice to Yahweh, your God. This is where God is like, all right, bring it on. 18, go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you, yet shall ye deliver the tale of bricks, or the number, the same amount. And the officers of the sons of Israel did see that they were in evil case after it was said, ye shall not minish aught from your bricks of your daily task. That's just like, I'm sure, it was pretty harsh back then. They didn't have the labor laws and things like that. It was like, do it or you're going to get beaten. They probably had to work a lot longer hours to get the same amount. Right, 20. And they met Moses and Aaron, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh. And they said unto them, The The Lord look upon you and judge, because ye have made our Savior be abhorred in the eyes of Pharaoh. It's like stink in the eyes. And in the eyes of his servants, to put a sword in their hands to slay us. As we go on, you're going to see they're constantly complaining, they're murmuring, and here God is trying to help them. I mean, But this is just the beginning. As far as the 144,000 and the 7,000, the 7,000 especially, really are going to be so spiritually prepared that, they'll just be going, well, this isn't going to be that long, so no reason to worry about things. And Moses returned unto Yahweh and said, Yahweh, wherefore hast thou so evil, or evil entreated, suffered to be evil? This ra'ah, like evil. Okay, so thou so evil entreated this people. Why is it that thou hast sent me? Okay, look at all this going on. Now look, we're gonna die from being overworked. For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in thy name, he hath done evil to this people, neither hast thou delivered thy people at all. And remember back in Daniel when we were talking about Jeremiah, the the king's daughters and things like that living over in Europe and coming over. So as with this, it was like Aaron was part of the house of Pharaoh at the time, and he left, so he wasn't really considered part of that, but he was more of an administrator to get them out. The same thing like with Zerubbabel and all those different types of taking the people out of bondage. Okay, chapter 6, verse 1. Then Yahweh said unto Moses, Now shalt thou see what I will do to Pharaoh, for with a strong hand shall he let them go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of the land, or out of his land. So, God has made this covenant. And at the time, the people in the Old Testament in Genesis didn't know Yahweh. They knew they didn't quite understand Yahweh. Now, in this book, it is where God is actually acting, and so his title is coming out. So in that land he promised to them. So he's like, yeah, we're going to go take it. But also, Egypt is always going to be a base nation until the Antichrist gets here. And then it's all absorbed into this one world order. But He lets the Ethiopians stay in Ethiopia. He lets all of them. And if you've ever noticed, uh, the 12 tribes have always been wandering around. They've never really been home. So that's the exciting part about what's coming up is that we will all be back at home, our inherited lot. All right, verse 2. And Elohim spake unto Moses and said unto him, I am Yahweh, or I am the Lord. So we had read that it was Ea, Ea, or Ea Asher, Ea, I am that I am. So when you see this, I am Ea, I am the Lord, and I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of El Almighty. But by my name Yahweh was I not known to them. So, like I was saying before, they knew his name, but they didn't quite understand it. So now it is where he's teaching everybody his title. And I have also established my covenant with them to give them individually the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage. They sojourned in Canaan and they also dwelt in Egypt, but they were there, but they were strangers in their own land. Okay, in the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, wherein they were strangers. And I have also heard the groaning of the sons of Israel, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage, and I have remembered my covenant. So, just like us in the end time, it's like all those prayers, all those, when you're going through hard times and stuff, God is keeping those prayers until the end where everything's coming down on them and it's like gonna hit hard. But in this instance, it'll come out in the plagues. Let's see, wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am Yahweh, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments. So in this way, he's paying for that, but Christ paid for us in the end. Will be redeemed fully in the millennium, and then after it's everlasting life. So, that promise with redeeming and redeeming those who were lost, especially in the time of the Antichrist, where those people get fooled into worshiping the Antichrist, they'll be redeemed back, covered by the blood of Christ in his death. So, this is very powerful when you hear redeemed. He paid a full price. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a God, or the Elohim. So I will be the Elohim, the triune God. And ye shall know that I am the Yahweh, your Elohim, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. And these things that are coming up, the plagues and things like that, just like in the end times, it affects all of Egypt. It doesn't affect, any of God's people or if you are under the covenant, you know, of Yahweh in Israel, then you didn't get affected. So the same thing that's going to happen again, all the believers, those who are under God's protection, are not going to get these wrath. But anyone who isn't, that's who's going to be getting it. And I will bring you in unto the land concerning the which I did by swear. I lift up my hand to give it to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, and I will give it you for a heritage. I am the Lord. I am Ethha Yahweh. I am that I am. And Moses spake so unto the children of Israel, but they hearkened not unto Moses for anguish of spirit and for cruel bondage. So, in these end times, it is going to get rough, but don't ever give up hope and keep your focus on the prize. This is the thing. They're going to try to wear you down. And when the Antichrist does get here and he brings in peace and prosperity, that's where he gets most people. And everything just looks so heavenly. You have the 10 supernatural kings, you have Satan himself, who looks like Christ. And then you have the 7,000 fallen angels that are representing the 7,000 Zadok. These are the fallen angels. So it's going to look like a priestly kingdom, just like when Christ gets here. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Go in, speak unto Pharaoh king of Egypt, that he let the children of Israel go out of his land. And Moses spake before the Lord, saying, Behold, the children of Israel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me? Who am I of uncircumcised lips? Now, when you're delivered up, you don't even have to think. I mean, and it's God will give you all the answers, all the strength, everything that you need. He's using Moses and Aaron as vessels. There's the 7,000 very elect, you're a vessel as well. So remember this. And the example of Moses is like the example for one of the 7,000 because you truly have a destiny and a purpose. And the Lord spake unto Moses, here's the mission, and unto Aaron, and gave them a charge unto the children of Israel and unto Pharaoh of Egypt to bring the children out of Israel, out of the land of Egypt. Okay, from like verse 14 to 27, it's just going through the genealogy. You can go through it if you want. But it's just talking about the genealogy and the order according to the age of genealogy, how to, separate them and take them out. So, going down to verse 26, these are that Aaron and Moses to whom the Lord said, Bring out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt according to their armies or according to their homes, and, you know, they're setting up, they're getting ready. These are they which spake to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring out the children of Israel from Egypt. These are that Moses and Aaron. And it came to pass on that day, when the Lord spake unto Moses in the land of Egypt, that the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I am the Lord. Speak thou unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, all that I say unto thee. And Moses said before the Lord, Behold, I am uncircumcised lips, and how shall Pharaoh hearken unto me? Well, like with us, it's the Holy Spirit speaking. And with Moses, God gave him the Holy Spirit to do these types of miracles. Um, Now, with Moses and Elijah as the two witnesses, they'll kind of look like God-like. Okay, let's see, what do we got? Here we have time. Okay, chapter 7. And the Lord said unto Moses, See, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother. Sorry, I had a phone call come in. Are we on? Okay. Okay, so let's go back to check this out. I'm just gonna go over. I keep getting a phone call. Hold on. It's messing up the. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Okay, so let's go back. I'm gonna go back on to chapter 7, verse 2. All right. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land. Now, they're not going to like that because they've had all this, hard labor, things like that done. They just weren't doing very well as far as prosperity and things like that. But even with this redeeming, it's going to make it so that even that the Egyptians give them payment for their working all that time. I mean, they're just going to give them things. All right, and I will harden Pharaoh's heart and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. So in the end times, you're going to see the same types of things happening. But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that I may lay my hand upon Egypt and bring forth my armies or my host and my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt by great judgment. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I stretch forth mine hand upon Egypt, and bring out the children of Israel among them. So you could go over to Revelation chapter 16, 5 through 7, and seeing the types, how parallel it is with these trumpets and plagues and bull vial type judgments. And, it's like when the 7,000 are being brought up, you know, it it makes more people aware of what's going on. And when they see, wait a minute, these people, they have these boils on them and all sorts of things, it's like, and it's going to go really fast too because time is shortened. So they're getting all this wrath on them, and then as soon as they turn and get redeemed under God, then they're going to be like, wow. And then all these people, I mean, so many people are going to be saved. And, you know, there's, there are some that are actually going to continue to fight with Satan. And that will be amazing just because of the fact that, you'd be dumb enough to believe that you would win, but is to show the nations, hey, I am God. Sit on the throne. I'm here. I'm always here. You may think that you've got the upper hand, but I am in control. And Moses and Aaron did as the Lord commanded them, so did they. And Moses was fourscore years old. He's 80 years old. And Aaron fourscore and 3 years old, so he's 83 years old, when they spake unto Pharaoh. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, show a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. So this is what Aaron's doing. Moses is just kind of looking, but see, Aaron is also the prophet. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. So, in Chaldea, they had certain types of magicians and they had the astrologers. In Egypt, it was kind of the same way. So, these are the wise men. So, then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magicians of Egypt. They also did in like manner with their enchantments. So, think of this: Satan is a copycatter. And he does have power, but his power cannot overpower God. But I'm just saying, with these things that are coming, it's going to look like God being here. It really is. So, there's going to be signs and miracles and things like that. And people are going to get sucked into believing that. But just like this, same types of things are going to happen. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods, and he hardened Pharaoh's heart. So now it's like, well, God could have made it easy and just said, oh, okay, I believe you. But he really wants to make a statement here that he hearkened not unto them as the Lord had said. And the Lord said unto Moses, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refuseth to let the people go. Get thee into Pharaoh in the morning. Lo, he goeth out into the water, and thou shalt stand by the river bank against he come, and the rod which was turned to a serpent thou shalt take in thine hand. And thou shalt say unto him, the Lord God of the Hebrews, Ephha Yahweh Elohim of the Hebrews has sent me unto thee, saying, let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear. So you have the first one being the blood, and there's the warning there. Look, if you don't, I'm going to turn this to blood. You have the second one, the second plague of the frogs. That's also a warning, but then on the third plague is lice, or a gnat type of bug, and that was like no warning at all. It just came up. Then on the fourth is the warning of the flies. On the fifth, this was a type of disease that was on the animals, and that was a warning. The sixth, which is the boils, that was no warning. So it's kind of interesting how it's set up. The seventh plague is the hail, that was a warning. The eighth plague as the locust, the warning. And then the ninth was the darkness, and there was no warning. So it's like, in these end times, I think it's just going to be like boom, boom. I don't think that there'll be warnings. I think it'll just happen. And it'll happen so quickly too, because like I said, it's the end times. And Satan knows he doesn't have very long, and you know, God, he just wants to take over. Sick of all of it. I'm sick of it. I know you're sick of it too. Okay, 16. And thou shalt say unto him, The Lord God of the Hebrews has sent me unto thee, saying, Let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear. So thus saith the Lord, In this thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood. And the fish that is in the river shall die, and the river shall stink, and the Egyptians shall loathe to drink the water of the river. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying unto Aaron, Take thy rod and stretch out thine hand upon the waters of Egypt, upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water, that they may become blood, and that there may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, both in the vessels of the wood and in the vessels of the stone. So they're drinking water. So um, we have one of these coming over, which is wormwood, and it makes the water bitter. Is it a spiritual bitterness, or is this really? But it talks about 1/3 part of the earth being affected, and then, I think it's going to really hit mostly the area that Satan is in. But it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And Moses and Aaron did so as the Lord commanded. And he lifted up the rod and smote the waters that were in the river in the sight of Pharaoh and in the sight of his servants. And all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank, and the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river, and there was blood throughout all the land of Egypt. And the magicians of Egypt did so with their enchantments, and Pharaoh's heart was hardened, neither did he hearken unto them, as the Lord had said. And Pharaoh turned and went into his house, neither did he set his heart to this also. And all the Egyptians digged round about the river for water to drink, for they could not drink of the water of the river. And 7 days were fulfilled after that the Lord has smitten the river. So that's like a spiritual cleansing. And, you know, at that time, God had told Moses, Look, I'm going to do this. And just like for us in the end times, it's like, this is what I'm going to do. Okay. Don't freak out, but this is what's going to happen. And he, as an example in here, as it was written, it happened exactly like he said. So trust it. Okay. Next time we have chapter 8. I'm going to leave it off there. So, I'm going to say hi to everybody. Eagle, hey Eagle, and Mind, and Gummy Bear. Let's see, I watching Psyops, and Micah's Palmas. Soldier, hey Soldier. Let's see, ND New York. And Amanda. It's been a while seeing Amanda in here. Let's see. Let's see. Mine says Westinghouse 2,500 is the best full tank 10 hours. It will run an AC or large space heater plus a mini fridge, no problem. Ooh, how much is it? Are they expensive? I've seen them like $800, $500 for, a good one at least. You have to run them for a half hour and do an oil change one or two to get best performance and long-term use. Let's see, Daniel says I was going to get a built-in generic years ago and didn't do it. I can't afford it, and mad I didn't get one. Yeah, kind of gotta act when it's there. Yeah, they're not cheap, but research for best and quiet Westings, but whichever you can do. I have a couple neighbors. 2,500 will run AC window. I think, especially if you're in a hot part of the country, AC, I mean, New Mexico, Arizona, I mean, all those, it would be really hard. Hey, Annette, how is it going? Hey, Judith, and Eyes Watching Psychological Warfare. I think you're new, so I want to say hello. Annette has been in here, but she hasn't been in here for a while. And I think Gummy Bear is not new. She says, guys, be safe and ever vigilant right now. This is the real deal, and we are chosen ones. Don't bend, don't break. Hey, Char. Greetings from SoCal. Prayers and blessings to all. Definitely to you too, Gummy. So, these end times, I mean, really have nothing to worry about, but you're going to see people freaking out all around you. And as this time is just really time to prepare and just be ready. That's it, you know? And really, it's going to just go so fast. I mean, it isn't that full 7 years, it's cut down. So at the time of the locust, you have from May through September, you have the opening of the abyss, and then you have that fifth trump to the sixth trump. That time in that period is when you kind of have the spiritual side, and then at the sixth trump is when you actually have the Antichrist saying he is God. So everything will be revealed at that point. But before then, you're going to see the seals and vials and trumps as, in the beginning. So you'll see the first, second, third, fourth, and then on the fifth, that's when you see the sow, and where it's like, yeah, the two witnesses will be here maybe a day or so before the Antichrist is revealed and he says, I am God. So all these things, they're just so many signs. And there'll be signs in the heavens and the earth. Lay down. Lay down. My cat walks over by his little kennel and bugs him, but usually he's out running around, but he's still kind of a puppy, so lay down. Anyway, so, right now, I mean, there's like going to be some crazy things going on. And you just got to be strong. I'm so glad that time is shortened, though. I mean, if we had to ride through this whole 7 years, that would be tough. Very, very tough. Mine says, yay, Satan can touch you, but man is good. Expect power out raising taxes, food, gas, homelessness, hunger. Yes. There's going to be a lot of migration, a lot of people leaving and moving into with one family, like farms and things like that. I mean, like 5 families in one house. And I saw that there wasn't food. So, guys, really, if I mean, it's a good thing about this Texas thing and stuff. It woke people up to be like, this could really happen. So, hopefully, your friends and your family are going to take the warning and just do all they can to prepare because I mean, it takes a lot to, get everything for your own family, much less having, because you'll get those people. They'll want you to help them, and it's like, well, I've only got so much. And you do feel bad, but it's like those are the ones who called you crazy. You know what I mean? Do you help them? It's like, well, I would bend, but it's like, I told you. Why am I not crazy now and I was before then? Let's see. Let's see. Kevin says look up tips on training like a Navy SEAL, mental toughness. Hey, Diane. Looks like Diane is new too. Welcome. So, I was, I have actually started over at Patreon. I think we can get rid of a lot of trolls and things like that. But it's over on Patreon. I'm just getting it set up, but I've had it for like, I don't know, probably about 6 years. I just haven't really utilized it. It's prophecy end of days, and same thing with this. So when I get that set up, then we can have more of private meetings and things like that. Let's see. New York City and Los Angeles, new strains. Yeah, I was just listening to a thing about the jab, and that's pretty, in my opinion, it's man-made, and it's not really what people think. Just this whole jab thing. I don't know. I'll just be so glad when all this is over with and we just don't have to like ever deal with like problems like this, issues. People just get power hungry and just, let's see, I was watching Law on Cam and Fall. Place went dark. Okay. Way to go, Christy. Yeah, when I get that, we can have it set up, and I don't know. I don't know if you have to like pay for it to join, but if it is, it's gonna be like the very least amount. But see, all the other places just, like BitChute, I was on there, you can't do live. And I really like the fact that we can do live here. You can do live over there, but it's much more protected over there. Don't have all the crazy sometimes we get in here. See, I find you on Patreon, I will say more, or speak freely more. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause I really have to watch what I say here. And I'm just tired of like the roamers that come in here and just try to break everything up and all the stupid comments I have to delete. Let's see, anywhere one is dangerous when people are hungry and nothing to lose. Yep. I mean, people are gonna lose it. Not only that, but think of all the people that are on these antipsychotic drugs. I mean, like the SSRIs, the SSREs, the whatever, um, anti-anxiety, the benzodiazepines, the Neurontin, all that. I mean, what are they gonna do? I mean, honestly, when you just, you're cut off of that, and I mean, it's bad. I predict there's gonna be a lot of death just from that. And that is so sad. So, I always try to tell people if you can get some herbs or get something like kratom. I mean, stock up all you can for anybody that might be going through that because it is a good bridge to at least help them get through that. It is sad. And, of course, food, being in and around the city, it's going to be a huge problem. I think at a certain point, you probably get kind of locked in there because of martial law, and you have all the the civil war going on, and travel. What I had seen is right after the Pacific Northwest earthquake, you have 2 weeks to get whatever you need to get where you're going, and then the dollar crash, or it's discovered, and then you get all the banks and things like that calling back their loans, people losing everything literally because a lot of people can't make it just on their income, so they use credit cards to kind of maintain and pay bills. So they lose everything and then they have nothing to lose at all. Like it's all gone. Riots. I mean, all hell breaks loose. We're talking torches and pitchforks and midnight type of, riots and stuff. And then it's just like that one thing. Lay down. Lay down. So whatever that is, the shot heard in the middle of the night, it's like you cannot fix it, whatever it is. And just right after that, that's where it's like, all right, game on. And it's hard, it's rough. So just remember that you've got 2 weeks after that earthquake to get where you need because then, like, access to roads and things like that are going to be very limited. And I don't know, like with the stimulus bill or the stimulus check or whatever coming in. I don't know, just get stuff that I think that other people may need and just be prepared. Definitely gonna look at the generators though. Hopefully they're not too much. But you know what? I bet there's a lot of people gonna be looking for them now. They're like, that'll raise the cost, the demand in itself. Let's see. Let's see. Eyes said, I think gang stalking is caused by Debs, it's kind of cut off, so I'm going to try to read this. Like they body snatch people around me like they have personality disorders. Gang stalkers will attack you and act like they will harass you and stalk you and anything. They will gaslight you. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen God is Our Protector. She's been having a really hard time, and she walks her dog in the evening and in the morning. And there's this guy that just always comes out of the bushes and bothers her. But recently, he has just been very aggressive, throwing bottles and yelling and threatening her. She had to call the police, and the police, they didn't do anything. And these stalker types, I mean, I can only see them getting worse. I've seen in my case that they're becoming more aggressive. So just watch out for that. But I did see the ruach, like a whirlwind, coming up. So I think anybody that is under God's protection, because these people, I mean, they're not right in the head if they're going around doing this to people. So God's going to protect you. Hopefully, it's the end of the stalking, though, until, when we get into, you being delivered up. That is going to be heavily stalking and watching and surveillance, but at least this time will get us a little bit of time to really prepare. Be able to go into stores and just do what we need to do. Let's see, mine says start anointing yourself till you are comfortable that you got it. Let's see, Kevin says this summer quake, I think Christy, God let me know. Yeah, we'll have to see if it is this summer. Just waiting for more benchmarks, and there's just a lot of storms coming in, a lot of things happening. I think on the biggest thing is more of the political front. I hope that justice comes this year because it would just drive me crazy to have this same. It just, I can't even stand like watching, the news and things like that, anything concerning them because I know it's all fake. Just they shouldn't be there. So it really bothers me. So I just want that part to be over. So at least we'll have a little bit of time, you know. And also, what was that too? But the jab thing, I mean, that's going to be a big thing that I did see, which people who are on like benefits and stuff, I don't know if this is before or this is after the justice comes. This might be before justice comes, like really soon, where, if you're going to stay on that, then you have to get that. Otherwise, they will stop your payments. And that's, in fact, I saw. So get ready for that. And, it could happen under what is replaced with the justice part. I mean, this is like real stuff. It's part of the New World Order agenda to get you accustomed to what's coming. I mean, I don't want to take it. I really don't because I do have an autoimmune situation to begin with, and I have just heard some really bad things about that. It's like, if I don't have to take it, I don't think anybody who has a pre-existing type of condition should have to. And I don't think anybody should have to. Honestly, it's just nobody should have to. And what about herd immunity? You know? But that's that power push. It's the so true. Lamp oil lamps give off light and heat and are safe. If you have those clay pots, this really works, and it really, if it's like super cold, um, put a candle underneath it and let that heat up underneath it, the terracotta pot, and it really actually it I've tried that. It really does. I'm surprised. It really works. Let's see. Those Harbor Freight are sketchy, but their videos, YouTube, just do the oil changes right away. Get the little metal shavings cleaned out ASAP. Good advice, because I wouldn't have known about that actually. Make friends, talk to neighbors about power outages. Some people, yeah, don't blow their mind with everything, just basics. Yeah, I don't overwhelm them. Annette, oh, she says, I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye, Annette. I hope to see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. So, yep. Says, I said I had a bad 6 months. Uh-oh. Oh, the stalking and harassing stuff. Yep. Soldier says the clouds look really dark and creepy tonight. Must be a storm coming in. Yeah, these storms are gonna get much bigger. The gang stalkers want you to be unhappy. They will go out of their way to hurt you. Yes, they will. I'm glad justice is coming. So, guys, I'm gonna get going. Kratom, definitely. If you guys can get some kratom, that will help, whoever needs it, because, gosh, I just can't even imagine people having to go trying to get their medications, and that is going to be rough. And there's so many people being put on that now because of the COVID thing. I just feel really bad for people. Just really bad because I know how it is. Just kratom is pricey. It is, but if you can, are you on Facebook? If you are, I have a contact if you want to buy through him. The thing is he's great. He's great. It's like you can get it for like $40 a kilo, but you have to buy like 5 at a time. But the thing with that is it getting over here from Indonesia or Pakistan, it's just been really hard to get it over because it goes from there over to China and then over to the US. And if you're on, depending, if you're on in the middle uh, of the United States, probably go through Alaska into Kentucky, and it's a big mess. But it is a lot cheaper, and it usually takes about 2 weeks or so. But but with all this stuff going on now, just buy a whole bunch so you don't have to buy anymore and just put it away, and then later on when you need it. Yeah, that kratom can get like 150, $200 for a kilo. That is crazy. I would never pay that ever, ever. But I'm gonna get going, guys. I'll see you tomorrow again, same time, same channel, same everything. 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And we'll probably talk more than anything. So if you guys want something to talk about and just chill, you know, it's Friday. See, I wouldn't get close to someone with issues, but I try from a distance. Yeah. Okay, guys. See you tomorrow.